I'm actually going to tell you the story about Mufasa's weekend. For those of you who are wondering, Mufasa is a person I've written a story about, and I wrote that story this weekend, actually. So, let's begin. There's this one cat. His name is Mufasa. Mufasa can drink a lot of barley soda. He's not really good when it gets mixy-matchy. He's not good at that at all. And Mufasa's edgy as fuck. So that's who Mufasa is. Simba can drink probably way more than Mufasa. Barley soda, that is. And he's chill. He can keep his chill. Totally cool about it. And he usually has the phrase, "You need to drink more." And then we got Zazu. He's kind of punk rockish, usually likes to stay in the clouds quite a bit. We have Scar. And Scar, he can play guitar really well, but he doesn't really know when to stop. And then we also have Rafiki. Rafiki, he's a wizard. We have Ed the hyena. He's just fucking weird. Like, he just does weird shit and crackles all the time. Shanzi, she's like nice and shit. Like, I don't really know what else to say. And then there's Timon. He's a tough little tyke, but like, he really might take it a little bit overboard. And then there's Pumbaa, Timon's friend. Pumbaa, he's pretty chill, mellows out, doesn't really do anything. And then there's Other Simba. And Other Simba has actually been known to go feral. It's on Saturday. It's like noon o'clock, right? Mufasa wakes up. He's like pumping himself because he has a barley soda race. So about 2 o'clock rolls around. He goes up into Simba's room and he's like, "So we're gonna do this barley soda race? I don't think we've planned this out enough." You know, Other Simba's sitting there. He's like, "Yeah, it's not a good idea." So they decided that if they were gonna do a barley soda race, it would be done right. They were gonna make sure that this barley soda race went down in history. They decided they'd take it easy for the day, weren't gonna drink a whole lot of barley soda, and they were just gonna have a good time. So Mufasa, he goes back to his den. He's like, I think I had 12 extra barley sodas from yesterday. So he brings back a couple for him and Zazu. Zazu's also in the room, by the way. But at one point, Mufasa realizes he's like at least 4 sodas behind because everyone else has been having a great time. They are wired. They're good to go. And so, like, Mufasa, he just feels a little bit behind. So he just like finishes a couple sodas real quick. Just make sure he feels, caught up. Now what happens is it gets to about the 5th hour of the day. This is 5 o'clock. Simba decides he's gonna go on a journey. So he hands the last of his fire water off to Zazu, and he decides he's going to just take a quick break because he doesn't want to get too mixy-matchy. Mufasa, he kept drinking his barley soda. Zazu, he kept drinking his fire water, and then fucking Ed the hyena like walks in with his girlfriend, with Shenzi, and he's like, holy shit. They are all having a great time. Oh, wait a minute. It's like past 5. It's okay to have a good time. Little did he know they had started drinking barley soda at 2. So it gets to about 5 o'clock. Ed the hyena comes in crackling mad. He says some funny shit. 10 minutes rolls by of Simba deciding he wants to go on this magical journey. And he starts saying to Cacao, dance to some of the music. And then beyond that, Simba actually saw Ed's voice waves. When they started appearing, they were like, "We need to leave. We need to go outside. We need to enjoy the world." Everyone grabs their barley soda. Everyone heads on down. They go down. They go down to the Great Plains. The Great Plains is great. The Great Plains, that's why it's the Great Plains. It is so great. They go down there, there's sand, there's a garden, there's tomatoes, there's mint. Everyone's just walking around. Simba's on his journey. Everyone else is just drinking barley soda. And Zazu's actually just like accompanying Simba everywhere he goes, just to making sure that Simba's okay with his journey that he's on. Because this is the first time Simba's been on a journey. And Simba loved the sand. And then Simba actually had this old rivalry with the tomato, because Simba never liked tomatoes as a kid. But this day, Simba saw a tomato, and Zazu was like, "You should try it." Like, it tore his mind apart. Ed had left with fucking Shaniqua, and they ended up going over to fucking drop off Shaniqua to her other hyena parents. And Other Simba had to work, so he like dipped out once the journey began. So they all go around. Zazu finishes his fire water, everyone else finishes all their barley soda. And, you know, Mufasa decides, you know, maybe I want to take a little bit of break. Mufasa goes upstairs, lies in his den. He's like, you know, maybe I'll play some tic-tac-toe, play guitar. Simba and Zazu go upstairs and they're like, hey, we're going to Rafiki's great tree, you know? Do you want to join us? We want to see what the Asian pears look like. And then Mufasa was just like, fuck it, I'll go. So Mufasa puts on his lion shoes, he puts on his lion backpack, he gets his lion guitar, and he's like, I'm gonna go on an adventure. And he goes downstairs. As he's going downstairs, he hears the door to the Pride Lands just shuts. Mufasa runs out that door and looks left, looks right. There's no Zazu, no Simba. Goes inside, looks at Scar. He's like, Scar, where are they? And Scar's like, I don't know, I just saw them. They just left. So Mufasa goes to the back door. He goes to the door to the Great Plains. Where'd they go? Like, couldn't find them at all. So Mufasa's like, fuck it, right? Goes to his den, takes his backpack off, takes his shoes off. And he's like, I could sit on Pride Rock. I could get elevated. Goes out to Sun Rock, wears his guitar, gets elevated. See, but the problem is Mufasa doesn't know how to get like a good level of elevated. He tends to overdo it. He's not good at getting mixy-matchy. When Mufasa gets mixy-matchy, he's no chill. Oh boy, Mufasa was such a naive lion. Scar comes outside. Scar's like, I'll play guitar with you. Scar's sitting there, he's playing his guitar. And slowly but surely, Mufasa feels more and more mixy-matchy. So he looks at Scar, looks at this guitar playing music, and he's not ready to process all of these new songs that Scar is playing. Mufasa's never heard any of these songs. So he takes his paw, he puts it on the guitar strings. He says, Scar, shut the fuck up, man. Takes his paw off the guitar. So what does Scar do? I'll tell you what Scar does. Scar starts playing more fucking music to fuck with Mufasa. Because that's what Scar does. Mufasa did not have a good time anymore. As a matter of fact, Mufasa, once silence happened, passed out on Pride Rock for a solid half hour maybe. When Mufasa had awoken, he saw in the Pride Lands, he saw Zazu, he saw Simba, and then he saw Scar down there too, where the fire pit once was. So he goes downstairs, he stumbles downstairs, down into the Pride Lands. We call it downstairs. That's how Africa works. They're all around the fire pit. Mufasa just like lies back and just passes out again. They're sitting there, they're all talking, and Mufasa's just out, like stone cold. This one hound, Benji walks up, and Benji's just having the fucking time of his life. But Benji, he's really good at getting out of his pen, and, you know, generally his family starts to worry about him. So they just, like, hung out with Benji. And, you know, Benji didn't have a problem with it, they didn't have a problem with it, and everyone was just getting along. Mufasa's still lying out, by the way. Mufasa he's done with the day. He's not ready to do anything more. But, you know, Simba and Scar and Zazu, they're having a great time still. Eventually, Mufasa realizes that he has the rumbly tumblies. So, what do you do when you have the rumbly tumblies? Well, I'll tell you what, he started yelling at everyone, we need to fucking go to Qdoba. He wasn't even civil about it. Everyone was like, man, you know what would be great right now? Let's go to fucking Qdoba. He's so fucking ready for a chicken queso burrito. Get me to that. I need that in my life. Because that's what happens when you have the rumbly tumblies. You get fixated on something. And that's what happened to Mufasa. So, they actually just tell Mufasa to shut the fuck up. Ed the hyena was around too. Ed was the one who told Mufasa to shut up. But Scar eventually decided he wanted to go ahead and he wanted to drive Mufasa and Simba to Riva's. They go to Riva's. Mufasa gets in there, has no recollection of actually like getting in the car. He just knows he got in a car at some point in time. He went on it. Anyways, goes inside of Riva's, looks in the menu. He realizes, wait a minute, I can't see anything on this menu. I have terrible lion eyesight. I'm not prepared for this. I don't even know how to read English anymore. I never knew how to read English. I'm Mufasa. I'm a lion. Why would I know it? Mufasa hands his credit card to Simba and says, Simba, order me something. And Simba takes the card from Mufasa, moves literally 3 inches, hands it to the cashier and says he'll have the Zimbabwe burrito. He eats the fuck out of that Zimbabwe burrito. He had the carrots with limes on them, tore that burrito apart. I'm telling you, Mufasa went to town on that burrito. That was the best burrito Mufasa's ever had in his life. Him, Scar, and Simba, they got back in the car and they went back home. And everyone just goes to Simba's den because Simba's den is like where shit happens. Simba's den is like the den of all dens. It's the dankest of dens. And this is actually, so Timon and Pumbaa actually go over to Simba's den too. And what happened when they came over? Remember, he's a tough little tyke. He likes to go at it. He busts out the firewater immediately. He just like starts drinking firewater. Everyone else is drinking barley soda. Simba actually remembers, wait a minute, we have a whole nother 30 pack of barley soda. Goes to get the 30 pack of barley soda, comes back up to his own den, puts the 30 rack of barley soda on the ground. Simba had decided that he was going to have a nice mellow night. He was going to read a book after his journey, and he was probably going to go to bed at about 8 o'clock. Nope! As a matter of fact, this is when Rafiki actually comes in as well. Rafiki walks in shortly after Simba brings up this 30 rack of barley soda and just drops half of another one. 5 lions and a bird, or 4 lions and a bird. 1, 2 lions. So eventually what happens is he walks up, staff in hand, shakes it a little bit. That's what Rafiki does. Rafiki's fucking weird and magical. He had his wizardly staff of wizardness, and they decided they wanted to go down to the elephant's graveyard. They go down to the elephant's graveyard. They play a little bit of a pong. They play pool. Scar and Mufasa, they played pool for a little bit. Everyone else played pong, and you know, Mufasa decided he wanted to play pong too, so he took Ed the Hyena's spot, and Ed and Scar played pool for a little bit, but you know, fucking Ed the Hyena, being the way he is, just chuckling and just starting up shit, he messes up Scar's pool game and just runs. That's it. He just was afraid that Scar was gonna tear him a new one and just bolted upstairs, and he was not seen again until like, what ended up happening was Mufasa and Timon, they were very aggressive during this pong game, and Mufasa accidentally made Timon's face bleed, which is way, like, who does that? How does that happen? But Mufasa, again, he's been really tired since before he went to Pride Rock. Before he went to Pride Rock, goes upstairs, he just sits in his den, he's like, finally, I can have some peace, right? And lo and behold, they all go upstairs, and they're like, we're gonna go to fucking Hakuna Matata mountain. Hakuna Matata waterfall. That's what it was. Mufasa's like, man, I don't know if I like want to do that, but like, he stands up, he like looks down, he's like, I'm wearing cargo shorts. I don't even have swim trunks on. Fuck it. So he goes downstairs, everyone else goes downstairs, they all start, you know, getting ready. Everyone hops on a bike, except for Mufasa. Mufasa hops on a longboard, because Mufasa's edgy as fuck, so Mufasa does as he pleases, and that was that. They get to Hakuna Matata Falls, and there's just springs, there's water shooting out over this pool, this body of water. There's a hot spring so everyone just like throws all their clothes off, and they all just jump into the pool, and like that's what they're doing. They play chicken, they play football. Mufasa actually fucked up his forearms and his leg, and his neck hurt a lot the next couple days because of this chicken fight. They actually ended up playing this weird Iraqian beach ball game of some sort that makes no fucking sense, but they did that because they were in Africa and they were just enjoying the hot springs. There were 6 other flamingos there. Those flamingos were just fucking chilling. But in the midst of all of this, some fucking rent-a-zebra walks up. Y'all need to keep it down. Everyone else was just like, well, I mean, we're not trying to be loud. We're just enjoying, you know, having a good time. And the zebra's like, well, you know, I wouldn't want to have to, like, you know, call the real zebras. Then he's fucking rent-a-zebras. So Rent-a-Zebra leaves. They all like keep playing their Iraqian beach ball game, and eventually they decide, we should just head out. Oh, they actually left Rafiki because they were pretty sure Rafiki was just like going to be playing in the mud for the rest of the night, and they didn't want to interrupt that because Rafiki really gets into it when he plays in the mud. Now Mufasa, on the way home, falls off of his longboard like 6 times, but he also went as fast as bikes. So he kept up with Simba, he kept up with Scar, and they were on bikes. Zazu still like went to bed. Zazu went to bed like way before everyone went to Hakuna Matata Falls. Fucking Scar, being the dick that he is, was like, let's go wake up Zazu. And, you know, Mufasa, being the prideful person that he was like, I'll go wake up Zazu. He walks into Zazu's den. He's like, hey Zazu, these guys are being kind of dicks. Watch out. They're gonna try to wake you up, and I'm just here because I have to be. So he locks Zazu's door. He closes Zazu's door behind him. Scar didn't want that. Scar kept like yelling, Zazu, come get shitty with us. They were sharing their poop stories. It was very interesting. But Ed the Hyena, he goes on this glass crazy rampage where he goes and finds every bottle he can and just like drops them out, chucks them. they shatter, and he's crackling like mad. He is the weirdest fucking hyena I've ever met, and he had a great time, and that's all that matters. So eventually, Scar keeps yelling Zazu's name so much, he wakes up, goes out, and enjoys drinking barley soda with everyone. And they're still enjoying the glass box of musicalness at this point. They've all like toned down. They're all just singing along. They're having a great time. And it was on the 4:20th of the hour that everyone decided that they wanted to get elevated. So Mufasa, not learning his lesson the first time, he's had the longest night. This is over the 12th hour of drinking barley soda. And you know, that's a lot of carbonation. You're not ready for that. So he gets elevated, and give it 20 minutes, and well, you know, he deserved it. He ended up in fucking small pool, and he was just seeing his insides. So he recollects himself. He goes back out. Other Simba had shown up as well. Other Simba had gotten off of work and joined them right about the time that they started sharing poop stories, and Ed the hyena started throwing bottles out the window. Mufasa drinks again. He drinks more barley soda. And that was the only time ever in the history of Everness Simba said, "You shouldn't drink that." And Simba was right, because 10 minutes later Mufasa just went back to small pool again, and well, he just saw his insides again. And he was like, "Guys, I think I'm going to bed tonight." And goes to bed at like 4, 5 a.m. Yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed that story. I had a great time writing this story. I was on my desk so much I actually bruised my forearms. I also my neck was killing me just because the entire time I was just sitting there, and I was just like, I need to come up. Yeah, I mean, if you like that story, then just like give this video a thumbs up, and just I could tell more stories about Simba and Mufasa and Scar and their adventures. Anyways, yeah, so fucking nice.